Hey everybody, as I mentioned here, I was going to post a short little video about the new Hamskea InSight Peep System. So as I mentioned in my post before, we got the four components to the peep here. So we have the aperture tool, we have the aperture itself, we have our lens, and then finally we have the InSight Peep itself. So the beauty of this system is you can change around lenses and you don't have to buy a new aperture set. So what I mean by that is when we're assembling this, and I'll go through it in a second, but what it is we're going to put the lens into the peep itself, and then we're going to thread the aperture in, and that's what's going to hold our lens in. So you don't need to buy a different aperture set or different sets of clarifiers. You buy your lens and then you use the aperture kit that you already have. So it's a super awesome way to be versatile with, if you want to try between an A lens and a B lens, and Hamskea will be posting the particular lens for your power and peep to sight length and stuff like that later on, but I just wanted to toss this up now, and I'll throw this peep together here and drop the lens in it just so you guys can see what I mean. But super cool system. I really like like I said before, how I can just drop the lens in there and use the aperture I am regardless of whether I'm using a lens or not in my peep. I can just use that same aperture, thread it in without one, or I thread that in. That's what I use to hold my lens in tight. So I'll pop it in there and let you guys see what that looks like, but just wanted to run through that with you guys and show you the different components to the new peep. So now I'll just go ahead and assemble this InSight Peep system. As I mentioned before, the lens just drops right down into the peep itself, and then the aperture is what keeps it tight. So on the front side of the peep, which you can recognize that by the size it's threaded, which is going to be closest to your eye when it's in the bowstring, you're going to take the lens and you're just going to drop it down in. Use a tool here to make sure it sits down in there in the groove, and that's it as far as inserting the lens. There's a groove cut down in there, so the lens is going to drop down in and it's going to be centered every single time. You don't have to worry about it moving around or anything like that. Now we're going to take an aperture. You can use an aperture of your choice that comes with the kit. They have 1/8, 3/32, 3/64, whatever you use. It doesn't matter which aperture it is. You're just going to take the aperture, just going to drop it in the top as well. Start to thread it. Now we're going to take our aperture tool and we're just going to tighten it down. So the aperture sits tight against the lens in there, keeping everything tightened together, and that is it. And if you want to try a different lens, or if you're changing powers in your scope, all you have to do, remove the aperture, change your lens, and that's it. Super awesome system, really versatile, and everything is super precisely machined. The tolerances are crazy tight on these things. You don't have to worry about any inconsistencies with changing lenses or apertures. So that's it for assembling it. And check them out, www.hamskeaarchery.com, the new InSight Peep system. You guys definitely want to check these out. I can't wait to get shooting a little bit more, and I'll keep posting as I start to use them more. But thanks for watching, and good luck shooting, guys.